and welcome to What's New. I guess everybody had a wonderful Easter.
Hopefully.
Well, don't be so enthused.
And they didn't even get to see our bunny. Did you see our bunny we had here? We had
No.
2 bunnies.
I saw
They
the
danced and sang.
Yeah.
They were cool bunnies with ears.
Oh, she's awesome. I must have been sleeping during that part.
You didn't remember the bunnies?
Well, I remember the bunnies with the ears.
Wasn't there bunnies singing?
Oh, that's,
Dancing?
yeah.
I thought
Stupid.
so. I thought so.
The bunny and the chicken?
That's right. Chicken laying eggs. Let's go back to normal things. Okay. And ours, would you be so kind as to tell our watchers who we have tonight?
Okay, we have 4 guests tonight, and then we have to talk about the 4th Friday because Jean can't be here and she was going to. So we have the Parkinson Support Pals, and we also have Robert Mueller, and we have Lou Hook with the garden. Well, I'm sorry I didn't know her.
If you go to
Glad to
Farmers
meet
Market
you.
every Saturday, you would know her.
That's right.
Okay. So which of you ladies would like to go first, or gentlemen, or who?
Don't all fight at
Well,
one
I'll
time.
be kind of short. Well, you know that's probably not true.
No, you can be long or short, it doesn't matter.
He just lets us go on.
Well,
Okay.
I wanted to talk about this coming weekend and something, it's the 5th École de Soda here in St. Genevieve. And
It's a what?
École de Soda.
It's cold.
School of the Soldier.
It's cold out.
Okay, it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's actually the 26th or 27th one of these that the group has put on. It was originated by what is known as the Holy Family Milice out of Cahokia, Illinois. And a milice was the citizen soldiers during the French and Spanish period. And École de Soda, School of the Soldier, they also call it Frog Talk. The French were sometimes called frogs. And I always wondered about that, and I found out that some of the early flags that the French had frogs on them.
Oh, really?
And that's how they got the name frogs. But it's not really a school.
Go around to the
Yeah,
side
go
door.
around, go out the door and around on that side.
You never know what's gonna show up at our What's New.
We're the directional people too. That happens quite often. Sorry.
No problem. Well, in the School of the Soldier, there is an educational part of the weekend. They put on a series of lectures so that all related to the colonial period of the mid-Mississippi Valley. We were all called the Pays d'Illinois, the Illinois country on both sides of the river. And they like to have lectures that are appropriate to that time period. They will be coming into town on Friday afternoon and setting up their camp down at the Jour de Fête Park. As I said, this is the 5th year. And really the events start for the public on Saturday morning. You may see them around on Friday evening, like at the Old Brick. I think they're having dinner there, and they're in costume, come up and say hi and show them some of that St. Genevieve hospitality that we're so famous for.
And they're having children's activities too. Was that
Right.
always?
Well, there's something new this year. We talked with them, our local milice and the Director of Tourism, Sandra Cabot, and we wanted to do a little educational thing for children. Part of the problem, the French lost the French and Indian War, so you don't hear about the French period of Missouri history. Very few schools teach it. When I go around Missouri, most people think Missouri started with Lewis and Clark and the Louisiana Purchase, and they don't remember that the French were here for 65 years before that. So one of the things we'd like to do is work with the kids. This year we're going to do it at Valley, and next year we'll be doing it at St. Gen. And it's really the 4th grade. That's when they do study Missouri history. And we'll be doing some games with them, musket drills, because we really didn't have a lot of soldiers stationed in St. Genevieve. There were just like 7 or 8. So
Oh, really?
the citizens had to protect the town. And we'll be talking about clothing, some of the things that I'm wearing, and what women and children wore, and just some of the other kinds of things. And it's a chance to equate them with our past and make it more real to them. But the main events for the public are on Saturday morning. There'll be an opening ceremony, raising of the flag, and then we kind of march up to the Welcome Center where the lectures are held. They begin at 9:15, and again, this is all open to the public. It's free of charge, family friendly.
Is that up at the courthouse square?
No, this is down at Moses Austin.
Oh, you start down that end.
Right.
Okay.
That's where the camp will be. That's where they'll have their tents and
Okay.
all of that. And they're going to have 2 lectures on Saturday morning. The first one's Bonnie Vega is going to talk about the cultural differences between the French and English. And the French did not think much of the English. I think it was Francois Vallée Jr. called them vagabonds
Oh,
and other things. After we became American.
And the king didn't like that.
No, and after we became American, Jean-Baptiste Vallée says we are now all Americans. He was very political. And so she's going to talk about that. And there were quite a few differences. Anything from the way we settled court cases and things of how we dealt with slavery was different between the two. So she'll be talking about that. And then at 11:15 to noon, Doug Harding, who is from, he's an interpreter, historian up at the Arch, and he's going to be talking about the founding of St. Louis.
I was reading about, what was that at? There was a story somewhere about.
Well,
it.
there's
Not so long ago.
St. Louis is celebrating their 250th
Oh, that's
founding this year.
probably
and
right. Yeah.
They
They're
have,
just babies.
they have events all through the year, and Doug is going to talk about the founding of St. Louis. So then, after that, from 1:30 to 2, they're going to demonstrate some artillery firing. They did with blanks, naturally, but that's always a lot of fun, a lot of smoke and noise. And then from 2 to 4:30, they have what they call a heritage auction. People have donated things for them to auction off. This is how they pay for the event for the next year. It's a lot of fun. They usually have 2 or 3 auctioneers. It's just worth it to go listen to these guys. Mary Ann would fit in very well with these people, I can assure you.
You gonna go listen, or you gonna go bid? You gonna go auction, being the auctioneer?
I could be the auctioneer.
Yeah, you could,
you could.
yeah. Then at 5 p.m., they'll close the colors, and that's the end of the public part of the event on Saturday. On Sunday, they'll again do morning colors at 8:30 to 9, go march up to the Welcome Center. And then from 9:15 to 10 o'clock, Doug Harding's going to talk about the migration of what are known as the habitants, the farmers from the Illinois side of the river to St. Genevieve and St. Louis after the French lost the French and Indian War. The French didn't want to be under the rule of the English, so they came across. And our population increased significantly, as did St. Louis's. The last presentation will be by Elizabeth Picard from 10:15 to 11, and she's going to talk about Madame Chouteau, who was the wife of one of the 2 founders, Laclede and Chouteau of St. Louis, and so she's done research. I think she's from the Missouri History Museum. But it's a great chance to kind of get back and look at what life was like. These reenactors have been doing it for years. Their campsites are probably a little fancier than what they,
Yes.
because when they were on marching, they didn't want to carry all this stuff. But these people are wonderful. They like to talk to you and interact with people about what life was like. A lot of them do research on the equipment, also on people. They will take a persona.
They do a lot of their own cooking down there, don't
Oh,
they?
yes. Oh, yeah.
It smells very good when
Yes.
you're down in that area.
So it's again, a great time. I think this is the 5th year. We're glad they come to St. Genevieve. They love coming here rather than to Fort Deschartres, because some of them stay in B&Bs rather than sleep in a tent. And they also like our restaurants.
And they don't have all those mosquitoes either.
Yeah. Depends on the time of the year.
Well, that's true,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's basically what's going to be happening this weekend from a School of the Soldier standpoint. This is going to be a very busy weekend. We've kind of kicked off the tourism season here in April. Other things that are going on, I'm sure you're going to talk about Fourth Friday Art Walk. The Chamber Banquet is Friday evening, so that's going to be a big event. It's the inaugural outdoor market at the Bolduc House parking lot behind the old Bank of St. Genevieve. And that's going to have not only vegetables, but other kinds of things. It's not going to be a yard sale kind of thing, so it'll be kind of interesting. I think they're planning to have music and crafts and things of that sort.
That's 2 days, right?
That's 2 days,
Saturday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Is that going to be Saturday and Sunday from now on?
That's what the plans are.
Oh.
That's correct. So,
Because 200 years ago, when you came out of church on a Sunday, you had your farmer's market that you could go by.
Did you go to it?
she got blackberry. When they had blackberries,
not a
Mary Ann would have been there. So,
You're all cruising. And I do pay back.
But that just was laid right out there.
Yeah.
there's a lot of other things going on in May. The Garden Walk's going to be coming up on the 17th and 18th of May. We're also, the tourism department's going to kick off something a little different that weekend too. Sandra's been working on getting people to volunteer to be in costume on Saturdays from like 11 to 1, and be kind of greeters and kind of walk around town. We still have some open weekends or Saturdays for that. I know Jean's going to do it this year. We have people that can help with costumes, and some of you have costumes that were in the closet from back in the 80s and stuff, and we'd like to have you come out. We're looking to have music.
Regalia.
Regalia. Not costume.
We don't have
Thank you.
What's he talking about? I have clothes.
Well, it depends on what time period you're playing. You have to have several different
You're playing
regalia.
in the 2000s. This is
Oh,
back in
okay.
the- this is back
Yeah,
in
you got
the
pretty spiffy
80s.
one on tonight.
Glitter glitzy lady.
So I think that's something that's going to be new for St. Genevieve, and is really going to add to visitors that come to town.
Well, I like the name the School of the Soldiers, rather than that other name that I cannot
pronounce.
Well, we're going to teach you French when you dress up in costume and be one of our weekend. You would be a great weekend or Saturday
Yeah,
afternoon.
Weekend warrior.
I'll be a weekend warrior.
You know all the scuttlebutt.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Well, also coming up in May is something called National Tourism and Travel Week. It's something that they celebrate nationally. And I'd like to just encourage people to get off the couch and go out and kind of take a look around St. Genevieve, travel here. We've got some great historic houses you can tour. Our wineries are getting a lot of renowned attention.
And it's amazing, the people in St. Genevieve who have never been in the houses in St. Genevieve.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
We do sell a passport where you can get into the Bolduc House Museum Complex, the Felix Valley, the Jacques Board House, and the museum at a discounted price. The other thing I'd like to encourage people is we've got some marvelous hiking trails in St. Genevieve County. If you've never been to Pickle Springs or Hahn State Park or Magnolia Hollow, or Hickory Canyon, and there's even an Audubon trail down by Minot. And
Oh, is it really? I didn't
It's
know
I think
that.
that's a long 13-mile, 15-mile,
Oh,
but
I
it
could
has,
do that in a flash.
well, it has shorter ones for Mary Ann. But this time of the year, the redbuds are kind of starting to wane a little bit, but the dogwoods are out there and the trees are starting to bloom, so it's,
And weeds and bugs.
the
And the lilacs are
Virginia
beautiful.
bluebells are out now, so it's a great time to see St. Genevieve, so. it's great. So, any questions you might have, or?
If anybody's got any questions, you can call in and ask, or if anybody here's got any questions.
And the phone, I think the phone works. Nobody's rang us
Nobody's
yet.
called us.
maybe paddle during the,
She usually does.
yeah.
You're always so faithful, yeah. And Mickey's gonna be talking
That's what I
about
like.
clothing on Friday? Is that what that is?
What was that?
Mickey Teddy on Friday?
Yes, she'll be
They're gonna be
talking about.
talking about clothing?
Clothing, right. At one time, we were doing a little education with Valley's kindergarten class, and we met them at the museum, and we walked out to Sarah's for ice cream. That was the important thing. But
Right.
Linda and I were telling them about what men's clothes were like and women's clothes, and I told them that when a man was outside, he always had a hat on. Well, the next day, I was standing on the porch of the Gee board, and here comes the little first grade class by, and I didn't have my hat on. And some little boy yells, "Mr. Mueller, you don't have your hat on, and you're outside." So they listened, so that makes you feel good.
At least they heard you.
Yeah.
So they listened,
Oh, that's cute.
but you didn't.
Okay, yeah, anything else?
I think that's it. It's good. May's going to be a very busy month.
It is.
and-
It's
Are you
gonna
gonna
be-
make it to farmer's market?
Oh, most definitely. No, maybe not. I have a grandson on the way
Oh.
next week, and that's important.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Very important.
I've found being a grandparent is really neat.
Oh,
You
it's
could have
wonderful.
stopped without even having the kids and
Right.
just went straight to bed. I know. I know I have 2 sons and 2 daughters, and it's funny because my 2 sons, their favorite thing is, we were important around here till after we had kids.
That's what happened.
Tough.
Well, Linda made me keep my cell phone out in the car so I wouldn't have to show everybody pictures of my granddaughter. Doxing.
I tell you, they're
Priorities
jewels.
are important.
That's right, they are.
They're jewels, and then
Yeah.
when you watch them grow up, you get,
They
So
grow
we-
up too fast,
They do.
way too fast.
For sure. Okay, who's next? You guys can choose, it doesn't matter.
thank you,
Go.
Bob. That was really
Visit
good.
with him, talking about hiking. It kind of segues into our activity.
It sure does. Okay.
So
You wanna
this is Mary
introduce yourself
Crecelius,
first?
and I'm Teresa Cavens, and we work at the Bloomsdale Wellness Center. I'm a breast specialist, and Mary's a nurse practitioner, women's wellness. We're really excited because we have our Art of Women's Health 5K run and walk this Friday at 6 p.m. at the gazebo. And it's not competitive, it's just a fun event for the whole family. And I'm going to let Mary talk a little bit about that, and then I'll talk about what we're going to do at the end of the walk. And
So we're really excited. It's our 2nd annual Art of Women's Health 5K. And the goal is just to get everybody out, just to come out and move. Moving's so healthy for everybody. We've had a really hard winter, and one of the things I keep hearing over and over again is, I'm so disappointed I've gained weight, or I was walking and I quit walking. And so it is a great time to just come outside and see the beauty of St. Genevieve in this community and just start to move. It's definitely not competitive. It's supposed to just be a lot of fun. Last year, we had a ton of fun, and it was pouring down rain. And so far, the weather prediction is it's going to be this gorgeous evening. And so our hope is that everybody can come out, meet at the gazebo, have a great time, go out and walk as far as you want. You don't even have to do the whole course. Right now, the course is through downtown St. Gen, over to the hospital, where we're going to have refreshments and a basket.
You have a new grand marshal here.
There will be restroom stops at the hospital. Come back down to the Art Guild. It's $10 and you get this really gorgeous t-shirt, a wine glass, a delicious chocolate from the sweet shop downtown, and the opportunity to win a lovely piece of art, because all women are so creative and are so artistic in anything that they want to do. But it's not just for women, kids can come. And we have a table of medals. Kids are free, so 13 and under, we want to encourage them to get out and just have a great time. And when they come back, they can pick out a medal. Men are welcome too. They get to indulge in the wine after the race. And So it's just to really encourage people to move for heart health, for their own health, and feel good about themselves. So we're really excited about it. And it is lovely to be able to showcase St. Genevieve, and we have people that come from surrounding areas, and last year that's what we heard, is that it's just a beautiful community, and people really love having the opportunity to get to see all of the things that are there to see, and it really does seem to be a little bit more of a personal experience when you're walking or running it, and you see these beautiful buildings and the beautiful flowers, and so we're excited. So nobody should feel intimidated. It's really low-key. It's just to come out and have fun. And like I said, we don't care if you want to go a block. If you want to just stay at the Art Guild, just stay at the Art Guild and enjoy the art. It's your kind of 5K.
As long as we pay our $10.
And that just covers the cost. you
It's
know,
not a
so
fundraiser.
There will be
It's just-
some baskets
I was
that people
kidding.
can bid on, yeah.
But I think it's great because it coincides with the Fourth Friday Art Walk. It kind of brings a lot of people from the surrounding area in to learn about that and to enjoy the galleries and speaking with the artists. And at 109 North Main, we will have the raffle for the selected piece of art, which is from our one and only Iris this year. So congratulations, Iris. It's a beautiful, beautiful floral painting. And we're really excited. I think that it's going to be something that anyone would treasure. So once the walk and run is over and we convene back downtown, we'll go to 109, have wine and chocolate, and have a raffle for Iris's painting, and also for gift certificates to La Techniques, which is a wonderful place to go for hairstyle and massage and manicures and pedicures. So just to kind of highlight our Main Street and our downtown area, I think it's a great thing to highlight art and health, and what a beautiful time of year to do that. So St. Genevieve County Memorial Hospital sponsored it for us, and it's not a fundraiser, it's just something for the community. So I think it's going to be a great night and a lot of fun for the whole family.
And where do you sign up at?
You can go online to the hospital website, stgenevievecounty.memorialhospital.org, or you can just call down to Denise Rotler in marketing, and you can just come that day and sign up that day. I mean, you can just come at 6 o'clock Friday night to the gazebo, and
Okay.
you don't even have to sign up.
So you can pre-register or just show up and sign?
And we already have 200.
Oh, my. Be able to get them in the building.
Well, last year we had like a funnel through, you know how you go to Six Flags and you go through the buildings, and they got their wine and their chocolate, and they funneled through.
And it's going to be beautiful outside,
Yeah.
so people all want to go out.
Yeah, so I hope there's some street music too, which there usually is on Fourth Friday.
Right.
So it'll be a nice time for people to learn about Fourth Friday and have a healthy experience too. So thanks for having us.
Well, we're
Well,
glad
thanks
you
for
came.
coming.
Yeah, and you're welcome to stay and listen.
And if anybody has any questions for these two lovely ladies, give us a call and see if our phone works. I get tired of saying that already.
And also, while we're talking about Fourth Friday, the youth art show is this weekend too. It's hanging down at the Welcome Center, and the presentation of the awards is going to be at 7 o'clock on Saturday evening. And a lot of our local high school kids entered, and the art is very, very, very nice. Beautiful art. They did an excellent job. And there's a nice variety. And there's beginners and there's advanced from both schools. So it's really a nice show. And there's also 3D. So, and one of the things, I mean, you got to go in there just to see it. The best to show is just marvelous.
We're intrigued.
Beautiful.
That's hanging now, so you can go down there Friday or Thursday and Friday and see it.
You can see it, but the awards are going to be given out Friday. And it will be up, I think, until Sunday. I think that's when they take it down, Sunday or Monday. So you have the weekend to run in here and see it. But it's very, very worthwhile going and seeing what our youth are doing. And then on the 7th and 10th, we have the youth plein air, which is an annual event also. That's been going on since 2007. It started when the autumn days were going on, and it's continued since then. Valley schools have taken it over, and it's Far Valley, St. John, Ozora, Roselle, Bloomsdale. Any youth from 4 to 18 can enter. So anybody out there's got grandkids, bring them on down. It's at the Moses
Homeschooling?
Homeschool, yep. And we get in touch with all those people, I mean, all the schools and all the homeschoolers, to let them know what's going on. And kids from homeschool have won, kids from St. John, one from Bloomsdale last year. The little girl had the most beautiful picture. It was so cute. And she got first place in her division, and she was just so excited. Those little kids, when they win something, it's just precious. So, and anybody can come down there and watch them paint too. It's from 3 to 5 after school on Wednesday, and on Saturday the 10th from 10 until noon. So
Where at?
down at Moses Austin.
Thanks, Iris.
You are welcome. Thank you
Thanks,
for
ladies.
coming.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Are they there every
See you Friday.
Wednesday?
Pardon?
Are they there every Wednesday?
No, it'll just be the 7th of May for the Wednesday and the 10th on a Saturday. Just this one time. We do it twice a year, but in the spring and the fall. So this year, in our spring one is May the 7th from 3 to 5 and May 10th from 10 till noon.
Sounds nice.
Okay, so
Welcome,
now,
sit up here.
do you want to go next or you guys want to go? Who's going next? Do you want
I
to?
can go.
Okay.
St. Genevieve Farmers Market will open for the season on May the 3rd at the pavilion of the Knights of Columbus Hall. Mary Ann will be there
It's
at
10 till-
7
I
a.m.
get there at 10 till.
I know.
Okay, she said the wrong time.
It starts at 7 and it goes until noon. And we wait for Mary Ann every morning to make sure we have the right day.
And if I don't show up,
They call you.
they really are.
We worry about her. But sometimes she lets us know the
Yeah,
week
yeah,
ahead.
I'm gonna
It's
be
like,
there.
no, I'm going to be out of town next Saturday, so don't worry. But this is the 200th anniversary
But I'm not
of,
200.
no, you're not.
Okay.
Of a farmer's market in St. Genevieve. And the documentation shows that it was on Market Street near what in the documents was called the Brick House, so we assume it was the old brick. And we are just happy to be back for the season. We open on the 3rd of May. We will have a limited supply of the early fresh greens, but there will be asparagus, and there will be rhubarb, there will be green onions, and those are the fresh things that we know that we can guarantee will be there. There will be fresh cut herbs, and there's always on opening day, we always bring in treats for the customers to say thank you for your support for all these years that you keep coming back again and again. But many of the vendors have been there since the beginning. And then we have new vendors come in, and it's a good time. We have fun. We visit, keep ourselves busy. But there's lots of homemade jams and jellies and preserves, baked goods, herbal vinegars, yes. Yes, yes, and there are eggs, there are eggs, there are farm fresh, there are free-range eggs as well. We have honey and goat's milk lotions and balms and things like that. So every year, there's another new item that seems to appear at the farmer's market. And we just would like to invite the community to come and support us
And you'll
on.
have a ball.
We'll have fun, yes. Mary Ann can attest to it. She's
Yes.
our,
She's the life of the party.
yes, she is.
Everywhere she goes. Does it close at noon or?
It closes at noon, yes. And like I said, we'll be under the pavilion at the Knights of Columbus Hall. And that's this will be our third year at that location.
You were down behind the Rozier Building for
Yes.
several years.
We were there for a
long time.
long time, yes.
And there
Yes.
was a fourth one that was down around Second and Washington back in the
Before that?
1870s, yeah.
Oh, that was before my time.
Well, we were working from that 200
Oh,
back. We're just
okay.
trying to figure out when it starts.
I kept thinking, now, wait a minute, I was around here.
So actually, it's been around for a long time.
It has been around for a long
Surprised, I didn't
time.
know it.
Mhm. And in mid-July, the vendors are doing a raffle to thank the community for their support. And all the individual vendors are donating money that will then be as a gift certificate that you can come back and spend at the farmer's market.
Hey,
Well, that's nice.
It's a good idea.
Because I don't miss that place.
Anybody
All the
out?
time.
Anybody have any questions? The number is 883-7675.
well, I just hope that this year's peach crop is what it was last year, because I never thought it was ever gonna get over with, and we ate peaches, and we ate peaches.
They were
Oh,
wonderful.
they were, oh.
Yeah, they were good.
I think you should raffle off a Marianne Otto Blackberry Cobbler sometime. I didn't, it's the only way I'm gonna get one.
I'll surprise you one of these days.
He said
You'll
the
have
right
a
word.
present on your porch.
Okay. And
Oh, and how long does it go? It starts May
It
the 3rd and
it
goes
starts
through
the May
to-
the 3rd, and it goes through the last Saturday in October.
Okay.
The last day you can pick up your pumpkins.
I was going to
Right.
say pumpkin pie.
Pumpkins.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
They have every kind of pumpkin you would want. White pumpkins, knobby pumpkins, orange pumpkins, ugly pumpkins, pretty pumpkins,
Halloween pumpkin.
every kind.
No, we like to carve them out.
Okay. So, anything else?
I don't think so.
Well, thank you, Liv.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you very
welcome.
much. A nice meeting.
Thank you.
Well, I'll start tonight for the group,
Okay.
for the army we brought in tonight. I think that it's hard to, to be, after you talk all this information about town and fun events that you're having, and of course Theus and Dr. Craven, they had something fun to talk about, and you, of course, have something fun to talk about with food, just nice. And then we have something serious to talk about. But I'm going to try not to make it too serious. We were talking not too long ago about the number of people in the United States that are afflicted with this Parkinson's disease. And it's 1 million. There's over 1 million people in the United States that have Parkinson's. So it's a pretty serious spreading disease. I asked one of these questions on behalf of some questionnaires up here to ask if you want to ask us questions. But I think that what I'm experiencing is we all need caretakers or someone to take care of us, because I don't think that most people know what Parkinson's is, what's involved when you get the symptoms of it, and each year that you have it, how your body deteriorates, your nerves to your muscles deteriorate, then you don't function the same anymore. And it's hard to have the illness and try to do everything that you used to do, and then of course you can't do it and you get very upset, and but we kind of ignore the disease and just kind of go on with life a little bit, and they're going to show you some of the things that they're actively doing with Parkinson's, and some of it's pretty difficult. So this is Billy, and she lives over in Park Hills and comes every month.
I'm so sorry I don't live in St. Genevieve. This sounds like such a good time.
There's a lot of things.
I
always come
know.
and stay
Well,
with
that's what I thought. Where do you live? You're the pie baker, I'll come to your house.
There would never be a dog.
I know. Yeah, I can make you a copy. I've had Parkinson's since 1994, and I was a young person when I developed Parkinson's, and mine started out as my feet curling, and then went on to my legs shaking, and then went on to where I was trying to type, and my hand would fly off into some other world while I was typing, and I knew there was something wrong, but I didn't know what it was. And when I finally got to a doctor that diagnosed, he said it was Parkinson's and that I had early onset Parkinson's. Well, it became late onset Parkinson's by now because I've had it so long. And it's like she said, you get to the point where your body just doesn't do the things that you used to do. You go down the stairs and maybe one foot will want to go, and you think you're following, foot to foot, and the other one won't move, so you fall. And you think, well, how did I do that? And everybody wants to know, well, Mom, how did you do that? Well, that's just part of Parkinson's, but people don't understand that there's several things that happen to you down the road. But as far as what I can do, I didn't know, I just came up on it. I can embroidery, like when I'm riding in a car. A 6-hour trip to my daughter's is just miserable if I just have to sit there. But I learned I can embroidery in the car, and it calms me down. It stops my shaking a little bit, I don't have it as bad as long as I take my medication. And I'm able to do that. And it might help some other people that have Parkinson's. They maybe could do something like that while they're traveling.
How much blood do you get on your embroidery stuff?
I haven't got any. The worst part about it is John has to thread my needle going down the highway he's driving. That's the fun part.
Best you have a bunch of them threaded for you.
Yeah, I know. I try that. But sometimes, it's...
It comes undone.
Yeah, it does. Just as fast as you can do them. But like I said, this is just a few things that I've done. I do a lot of baby quilts and a lot of just regular quilts. And
Do you make the quilts yourself too?
I piece them,
You piece
and then
them.
someone else quilts them for me. But I have 11 grandchildren,
Oh, my.
so I have, they've all got little blankets and quilts and things that I've made. And this is with old blue jeans.
Oh, my God.
That's the back, and then the front is, got all their names on it, the little boys. I had several little girls first, then I ended up with some little boys. And it says, let it snow, it says, the weather outside is frightful, let it snow.
No.
And it has their names on it, and
Just to throw it in, this is amazing for someone who's doesn't have a tremor, but for somebody like Billy who, has her tremor and has, the stuff she does is just phenomenal.
It is, that's wonderful.
So.
I couldn't even do that.
I couldn't either. I do good to thread a needle.
I can't see the
we'll just
whole-
bring it, but John will thread it for you.
He's got experience.
He has experience going down the road.
Oh, these are just beautiful.
So did you embroider those, Billy?
It's got things. Yeah, I've embroidered I have several at home that my little
Just
ones
beautiful work,
had.
too.
She's also teaching me how to do a quilt. I'm making one of
You
my
use
own.
3 strands?
Oh, are you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, which is harder to
You
get
know,
in
that's
there.
really a gift.
I
Yeah.
use 3 strands.
I do, my mom says,
that.
why do
Yeah.
you do that? I
It is a
said, 'Cause it
I'm
looks
excited.
better."
I'm making a Christmas quilt.
there.
It has all Christmas type colors in it, deep reds and
Now,
Very
let me
nice.
tell you this, for all of you ladies that are doing things like that. The Presbyterian Manor out of Farmington every year has a art show for, it's called Art is Ageless. And that would be wonderful if you guys would enter it. It really would.
Yes, because you can show your work there.
Yeah, and they give ribbons They don't get money, they get ribbons and awards, and there's a best of show. And they have a beautiful luncheon, and it's really a
Thinking about
nice
the
event.
candy for Christmas?
No. Well, they might get people that live there maybe, but not us. But we enter every year, so we could let Jean know when it is. And that would be great if you're making a cut and you have all those, you'd be competing against each other. But it's such a nice event. And it's at the Presbyterian home where the elderly people, where they take care
I
of
thought
them.
you said you didn't know
It's great.
how to quilt.
I do art, ma'am.
Well, this is,
That is art.
I know, but I do painting art, okay?
I can't crochet, but I can embroidery.
And Mary Ann does art too, and Juanita does art. Yeah, there's several of us from town. Jackie Brillis goes, and us, Mary Ann and I,
Not
and
me.
Juanita. You could go with your
I
lap
can't.
fingers on.
Oh,
Showcase your pies.
Yes, see, maybe they would think that was an art.
I don't, do what now?
Take your pie.
see, you're now the pie lady.
Or you jello solid.
Well, I can take my ribbon gel off.
But anyway, that's a very nice event. And I
Sounds like-
just happened to think about that, so I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
That would be,
Billy, just a quick question. You said you were diagnosed. What kind of tests do they do to diagnose?
Well, you stand up and they pull you backwards, and if you take steps backwards, they also they put you through a test for your brain, they hook you up to do brain waves and things like that. They did me. And then I was in an experiment when I first went there. They had me on an experimental drug to see if it would work, and it did for me, but they called us and immediately took us all off from it because a couple of people had passed away, but of course they could have had another problem besides just Parkinson's, but we were taken off of it immediately. So we're all on about the same type of medication.
And actually, there is no definitive test for
No.
Parkinson's. There's no blood test, there's no x-rays, there's no scans or anything. Like she described, it's basically based on physical exam. And they start them, the medicine that she's talking about that they're all on is Sinemet or carbidopa levodopa. And that's kind of the thing, if they start somebody on that and they improve, that's pretty well the diagnosis, that they have Parkinson's. So,
It's not a good way to try and determine someone's
Once you have
No, it isn't.
illness, but they
Parkinson's.
just don't have anything any better.
you can see it in others.
Yeah, you can, like she said, you can spot someone at the store that has it, same thing,
Yeah.
because you know the signs.
and the reason we're here tonight, April is Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month, and we just kind of wanted to get out and kind of, we were talking at dinner before we got down here about, what would they like people to know about this disease?
Right.
And, I'm going to give the condensed version here. Basically, that it's more than just shakes, because everybody thinks Parkinson's disease is a tremor. It's a whole body system affliction.
Kind of like a
It's like the
muscular
nerve,
breakdown.
it's like the nerves are supposed to send messages to your muscles in your head. And they get all, now that when you
Short
have.
circuited out.
Yeah.
Confused, basically.
So your body doesn't know what it's supposed to do or which way it's supposed to go. It
So that
affects,
can affect everything
yeah.
from your mouth, which affects your speech, to your balance. It's just any question you have about a body area or part, we could probably tell you how it affects us.
You get real, your muscles and your joints, sometimes your muscles get real hard, like. just-
They get hard?
Just,
Do they really?
like you're having leg cramps in the night, like you can get them anywhere, we get them anywhere.
My legs were like oxen last February, a year ago. I started getting Botox injections in them because it relaxes the muscles and relieves a lot of pain.
So the muscle stays tight? It doesn't loosen up once it tightens up?
It
No.
does, but it might take a few days.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my.
So it's
Sometimes
like a
it's-
bad
And
cramp
sometimes
that
it's
doesn't
longer
leave.
than that, you know.
Does
It's
the
just so-
disease, does it happen rapidly in some people and others, obviously, over a long
Yes,
period of time?
some people, I've been amazed. One thing I've learned by going to the group that I come to over here, is that there's so many different forms, and
Yeah.
people have such a different symptoms in some cases, you know, some of the, and how fast some of them have progressed already. You know, and I have been so lucky and blessed to be as slow as it's been.
We have young on that,
Yeah.
then that typically progresses at a slower rate.
What does?
Young
Young
onset.
onset.
Yeah.
If you're older, like 60 plus when you're diagnosed, it tends to happen fast.
Yeah.
Well, your body's stronger when you're young, and you have more stamina, and I guess that you can work your way through it.
Yeah.
But as you get older, and the medication just increases, the amount of medication you have to take to stay not trembly or whatever your symptoms are, you have to take medication to take care of that.
Can it occur at any age?
Yeah.
They're starting, it used to be, they'd say 50 to 60. Now, it's even gone down into the 20s. People in their 20s are being
There's a
diagnosed.
lot of young people
Yes.
with it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, the age is decreasing, but it's that way with so many diseases,
Right.
you know, for whatever
Now-
reason.
If someone, I know somebody they said has Parkinson's disease and she has no signs, how do they know? Are they just kind of guessing?
Well,
Doctors
there might be
just kinda
things
guessing?
that you don't notice.
I was going to say, she may have signs
that.
that you don't
Recognize.
recognize, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
We're good.
A real symptom, easy symptom is how they walk. If they drag their feet, you know, if they shuffle. It's one of the major signs of it. I went from having my little finger just moving like crazy while I was typing, and that was the beginning of it for me. And I had, I didn't have trembling like this. I just put it like that.
Dyskinesia.
The stiffness, yeah, the
dyskinesia.
dyskinesia.
Yeah.
The swaying.
I'm famous for this,
Yeah, I remember you saying
Yeah.
that the other time.
yeah. I guess what, another thing is, our caregivers, you know, people who help take care of us are really, you know, you have to commend them for, it's hard to take care of one of us, it really is. You know, you have to have a lot of patience, and my husband's pretty good at it. He has, takes pretty good care of me. But, it's hard,
It's a challenge for all parties involved.
yeah.
We cannot be rushed.
Yeah,
If
that makes it hard.
you
Yeah.
say, hurry up, you gotta go it slow. Slow is death.
Slow is the way to go.
It's sort of like having an egg, taking care of an egg.
Oh.
Try not to let it drop and break.
Yeah.
Because it's, and you never know what's going to happen. And I have a small little dog, and I fell in a mud hole, and he would not help me. He looked at me like, you got down there, you get up.
What are you doing there in that water?
Yeah. I slid off trying to get a tomato into the mud, and he just stood back, and I'd say, come here, and he'd get further back.
He thought you were going to pull him in the mud.
Well, I I was gonna try to get a hold of him and see if he'd give me any stability, but, oh, no.
And then you had to laugh.
Uh-huh.
We do a lot
Oh,
of,
yeah.
we do a lot of laughing in our meetings.
Yeah.
We don't, if there's a serious issue and we want to talk about it, we'll talk about it, but we have a lot of fun too. We just kind of say, we've all got it, but, you know, we're not thinking about that today, we're gonna have a birthday party instead, so.
Jean, how long have you had this support group?
It started in 2000. Yes, so it's been, actually, to pat ourselves on the back here, we're the longest running support group in St. Genevieve across the board. And it's a great group.
I think we're the most active
Well, I don't know about that.
Parkinson's.
I was just going to talk about him, and he leaves.
Yeah.
Oh.
How often do you meet, Jean?
We meet on the second Wednesday of every month. Actually, last May, we started a second meeting. We meet twice a month now, but the second meeting is for just the people with Parkinson's. We do exercises, physical exercises and speech exercises. So actually, it kind of gives the caregivers a break from the people with Parkinson's, and it gives the people with Parkinson's a break from the caregivers. Everybody needs a break.
And you do field trips occasionally, too. don't you?
Yeah. We toured St. Genevieve, and yeah,
Yes, we enjoyed that.
yeah, we did fun things.
You gave us to the church.
And Art and Mary Ann over here, sitting on the other side of the table, they're, I guess, probably the newest members of our group. And what would you, as a care partner, what would you have to say?
It's tough, I tell you. I know almost all of you here, most of you know my husband, how he is. He's so caring, so giving and whatever. And I don't know, it's just a big change now. I mean, not that he doesn't do that, but it's just so different. I mean, like I can have some things on the table all set up that I want to put somewhere, and all of a sudden I know a couple things is missing. And, you know, it hasn't been like that. It's all kind of little things like that. Little things that means a whole lot, really. And memory is not the best anymore, and really he shakes a lot. And that's kind of irritable because...
Yeah, but he still goes grocery shopping.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but I got her this morning.
I know.
Did she tell you? Did you tell him what you
No.
last week?
What you did last night? What'd you do last night?
What one?
We're not going to go into that story.
No, I have.
We're going to run out of time here.
No, there was, I'll just kind of cut it short, okay? There was a memory thing that happened throughout the night. Well, Good Friday morning, he got up out of bed and kind of took a little tour to Festus and came back. And I did not know anything about it, but that's one of the things.
I left her a note on the table.
And he was going fishing, yeah. But this was 2:12 in the morning, yeah. But anyway, it's things like that, and it's building up a little bit more. And it's hard, it really is hard you just have to tell yourself, you know, dear God, you know, please be with me today, and, you know, help me through this. And then we try to do more things together. And that, I mean, we've always done that anyway, but, you know, and it's just really tough. And I'm really glad that we have a meeting for the caregivers also, which, I mean, I really like. At first, I was kind of skeptical to go to it, but then after a while now, I can't miss it because we have talk about serious things, and everybody gives their own thing, what happened that month, which is really good. Some of them have a real good month, some of them don't. And we share that, and what we share there stays there, which is real good. And like, we just do a lot of laughing as well, as like she said. And it's really great to go to those support meetings.
And those meet on the fourth Wednesday of every month at the county health. Yeah, in the basement of county health.
Yes.
And if they want more information on that, they can call county health at 883-7411, and they can give more information on that. And that meeting coincides with our meeting. So the person with Parkinson's can stay with us, and the caregivers can go over to their meeting then. So it works out nicely.
We just
Then
hope.
do they actually know the cause? They don't know the cause of it? do they?
No. They're starting to believe there's correlations with welding and pesticides.
And Jeanette.
And
I was
genetics,
gonna say
of course.
genetics.
Right.
Does it run in families?
It depends on who you talk to, you know?
Some doctors think it does.
Some, yeah. I'd say they're 50-50 divided on that, because some guys say yes.
But if it's from pesticides and that, the whole family's exposed to,
Right.
you know,
I don't
so.
think
So not everybody has
That
the
would
gene.
It's the same thing that my doctor thought at first it was from being hit in the head. There's some, and then he's doing research on the welding and the pesticides that overseas now. He does a lot of research overseas.
Oh, okay.
But-
Now, is in the United States, is there more of it than there is in other countries, or is this kind of like worldwide, or
It's prevalent
do you even
in
know?
the Midwest, where there's more farms and pesticides. used.
Yeah, but internationally, I'm not really sure right
I
off the top
read
of my
in,
head.
I read in our booklet, and it said that there's more cases being diagnosed overseas than used to be, but then there's, we're over there more, I guess, looking
Right.
looking
And they're
for it.
more advanced now than they used
And
to
they're,
be.
they're beginning to find more cases over there.
Does it affect women more than it does men, or is it just about equal?
It used to be it's more men, 1.5, men are 1.5 times more likely to get Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Which is interesting here, because look, we've got one guy that comes, but women are more likely to seek help.
How many people belong to your group now?
There's about 20 active members.
But we would like more.
We would like more. Interestingly enough, about half of them are not from St. Genevieve. We have people from Park Hills and Farmington and Bon Tier, Perryville. There's no support groups in those areas, so they travel over here. But for some reason, St. Genevieve, I don't know. They're slow to come. Maybe they just don't, I don't know.
Maybe it's because they don't want people to know.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have that problem.
Yeah.
Keep it hidden as long as you can.
Well, and support groups, it's like Mary Ann said, going to the caregiver support group. It's hard to go to a support group because you have this term support group, and they just a lot of times have a negative connotation. But I think, I don't know, they keep coming back, so it must be good.
It's the snowball game. We had a meeting, sort of, at the building over there in Park Hills. We were at the college, and we were supposed to be, giving information, and people would stop and ask about Parkinson's and say, my family member has it, but they wouldn't give you their name or a phone number so you could contact them. They said that they wouldn't like to be contacted.
Because, so it's,
I guess it's a private, they want to be private with it, I don't know.
and that's a shame, because if
It's
you
probably
know
got a
each
lot
other.
to do with even like mental health, it's the stigma
Right,
of a disease.
right.
Yeah.
And if you don't admit it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But it does exist.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can't deny it.
Yeah. And Billy brought this, she does a beautiful job. This is our, what is that? That's a scrapbook.
There goes another
Anyway,
one.
so, she does a great job of documenting some of the things we do and everything. Her husband, John, takes pictures for us, and she makes a scrapbook out of it to kind of remind us what we
He's
did.
super talented.
He's just multi-talented.
Yeah, he threads needles while he's driving. takes
I know it,
I wish
takes
I could see
pictures.
that.
Now the patrolmen's are gonna be after you.
Not unless you tell them.
We didn't give her last name, did we?
No, we didn't. Or my number on my car. Well, I don't drive much anymore, very far. I can't drive a distance. That's another thing you lose, is a lot of your abilities to do things like that.
I just so,
Is that
You
because
lose
of
your
muscular
independence,
and not
you
being able
lose
to
your-
operate the?
yeah.
I go to sleep.
Oh, you go to sleep.
Does it affect your vision at all, like
Yes,
MS?
yes, it does.
Yeah. Sometimes I see double. Sometimes I,
That's okay, I did it at a wedding.
What you hear here, this is Chris's alarm going off to remind her to take her medications, because I don't know about all of you guys, but Usually meds are like every 3 hours.
Yeah.
Even in the
And
middle of the night?
a lot of people will wake,
Yeah.
well, some people wake them, they were talking
Yeah.
about that today. They wake themselves up in the middle of the night to take the medicines
don't.
because without it, things just kind of freeze. And you
The
can't
body
move.
gets stiff.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
It's been described, correct me guys here, it like moving through molasses, through cold molasses, you just, everything's stiff and doesn't want to move. So the medications are, ain't that right, Art? It's important to take
Like,
those
I
medicines.
take
Any nurse will tell you
6,
about that.
7,
It's,
7.
it's gotta be on the hour, I mean.
medicines all day. And then I have that medicine that they talked about a little while ago, that carbo levodopa. I take double of those at night when I sleep, and that usually makes me at least till 4 o'clock, and then I'm awake after that.
That's why I sew a lot. I'm up a lot at night.
Are you?
If I can't sleep, I sew. I make little girl dresses and bonnets and
Oh, my
just
goodness.
vests and whatever else I can think of.
She's
But it
got the
helps.
most awesome sewing room, just
That's
amazing.
It's great.
Great.
Anyway, so if anybody wants to join our support group, we're really fun people. They can call me, Jean Grifford, at 543-2162.
Now, don't say it so fast.
Oh, 54, well, it's so easy, 543-2162.
That's bad.
You just count backwards.
I just can't remember.
And then it makes you jump. Well, you people are amazing. I mean,
And
it's
you all
so
come
interesting.
back and see us again.
Next
Maybe
April.
we'll have some good news
That's
next
right.
time.
Hopefully.
That well, they say they're working on something that they think is going to slow the process down a lot, but they told us that 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and we're still waiting.
We're still waiting.
Well,
It's been what?
we have a good group of scientists at Washington University. They do a lot of research on Parkinson's there. They also have that, I forgot,
Movement Disorder Center, is that what?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I forget, oh, you have.
So do I.
Yeah.
That's nothing, I do too.
So I might remember it in about an hour.
Sure.
I'll
Or
call
2
you
o'clock
up.
in the morning.
Yeah.
Or when you
That's
wake up
when
in the
I'm,
morning.
that's when I really do my good thinking.
I do have to come visit her.
You have what?
I do have to come visit her. I think we have the same genes.
You poor lady.
Chris wants me to mention one more thing here. We were talking about how doctors can know the disease and they know how to treat it and that sort of stuff. But these people are the experts with living with it. They know how to live with it. And that's one of the things that the support group is so helpful for. Teaching each other, how do you swallow your pills? How do you take your medicine? How do you roll over in bed? How do you get up out of a chair? And giving each other pointers, because doctors just, bless their hearts, they just don't get it. So,
Gene, that's with a lot of
That's with-
everything.
yes.
That's with your, God, I don't mean this in a bad way. I really don't. But like our priests and stuff, they counsel you on being parents and stuff. They don't know what it's like to get up with a kid who's sick in the middle of the night and stuff
Right.
like that. And I made the mistake one time of saying that.
well,
And
yeah, quick thing here. I used to be an OB nurse and I helped deliver all these babies and everything. And after I had my child, I went back and apologized to all those women that I was with. I said, I am so sorry. I thought I knew. I had no
would say
clue.
that too. They would say that.
You just don't know until you've been there.
That's right, you can't. So stress makes Parkinson's worse?
Yes, stress makes Parkinson's worse. Yeah, we didn't do the questions.
Most because that stress was the only thing I did.
And this winter was
I was just
very
kinda looking.
hard
Yeah.
because we were sedentary.
Right.
And when you don't No, you just get some more luck
Use it or lose it.
up.
So the support group can be actually anyone? They-
Yes, it can be.
Anybody that wants to join?
Right,
They do
people with
not have to-
Parkinson's, their care partners, or anybody that even just wants to learn more about Parkinson's. You know, we are a very welcoming group, it's very informal. We have speakers, we have parties, it's just, we take road trips, I mean, you just never know what we're gonna do, so.
It affects the whole family.
It affects the whole family.
Yes.
That's great.
Brave bunch of people.
Well, thank you very, very much for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having you.
Glad to have you back.
All right, anytime you want to come, give us a call, and
Don't think
Find
that
new things coming
we'll
on,
fight
let
for
us
new
know.
stuff.
especially when they find the stopper.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not long.
They thought they'd have a solution in 10 years. Well, I've had it for 10 years, so it's,
They
They
said that
haven't, they haven't yet.
22 years
yeah.
ago.
So what do we have coming up, Miss Harris?
Okay, we have the garden walk on the 17th, 18th. Fourth Friday is this Friday, the 23rd. The 5K run is this Friday. What is it, Marianne? I can't say it.
School of Soldiers.
Starts on Friday and ends on Sunday, and it's, most of the activities are on Saturday, correct?
And we do
And,
have,
oh, I know one other thing too that we totally forgot.
yeah, I
The
wanted,
down,
the birdhouse competition.
yeah, but, okay, go ahead with that, and then
Okay.
don't let me
Oh,
forget.
they have a birdhouse competition. You can create a birdhouse. It doesn't have to be functional. It doesn't even have to have a hole in it for the bird to go in. Just a birdhouse, and just design it and just go crazy with it.
And it can be 10 foot tall if you want
Yeah.
it to.
Any
But no
size.
hole in it for a bird?
No, the
Nope, it
bird,
don't have
calling
to,
it
it
a
don't have to
birdhouse?
be functional.
the bird don't need to go in there. He
And
can
they're
just look
having
at
that
it.
contest.
Then why
They're
why are
having
you
that
calling it a
around in
birdhouse?
conjunction
Jean did
with
that.
the garden walk. And there's a $50 first prize, and it's open to anybody in the county or the city, 18 years and older. And you can deliver it to the Art Guild at 9 o'clock on May the 17th. But they want to see how many birdhouses they can get, how many different ones.
And they will be for sale, anybody that's out there that
Yes.
wants to buy any. And also this year, the down.
Chalk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you
Chalk.
talk, she was saying
Oh.
something, I'm
They're
sorry.
one source that we can go to. Find out all the activities in St.
You should be able to go to visitstgen.com and look at our calendar that we keep up with for events that are happening,
That's
or
one
also
in my
the paper on their website on theheraldweb.com. I believe keeps a calendar of events.
Bobby, you want to write that down for her for the paper?
Yep.
The Downtown Renewal Group also has an event for the children this Friday. It's chalk art. And that is going to be from, I think it's 5 till 7, down on Main Street by the park down there. It's either there or by the gazebo. It's right there on Main Street. So anybody's got
Have you
kids,
done that
bring them
before?
there, and they'll be drawn on the street.
How many times have you had that?
The-
With the chalk kids?
With the chalk for kids, I think this might be the first
No, it's.
for kids. The other one was adults.
No,
When
I
they-
think it was for kids.
When did they have that?
Was a couple of years ago, and they,
Oh, did they?
yeah, and
We had it in
it
the
rained or
we had it in the
something.
autumn days one time.
Yeah, and it rained or something.
But that was for anybody in autumn days, because
Yeah,
we did
it
one.
was.
Yeah.
I had, I was on vacation in Savannah,
Aren't they beautiful?
and they had one of those shows with the chalk, and it was just, I mean, it's too bad it's not gonna stay there. They were beautiful.
Yeah, they're like 3D, like you can just
Yeah.
walk in them. Craig
Gorgeous.
Thomas down in Cape, Craig Thomas, he belongs to the Missouri Arts Council down there and to the group. They have an art group down there, a co-op, and he belongs to both of those. And he travels all over the world now. He goes to islands and everything for these. and he is so good. And I think there's one that was passed around on the internet that had like 20 pictures. Oh, and those things were so good. I mean, they look like you could just crawl down in holes and jump in a swimming pool and, oh yeah, and lay on the beach. I mean, they just were so real. Yeah, they're really good. Yeah. Those are beautiful, beautiful. Did that answer it? Okay. So, everybody come to the run, come to the Fourth Friday, come to the Soldiers, School of the Soldiers.
School of the Soldiers.
I cannot say that French word. École de Soldat. The plein air for the kids.
They're going to be drawing pictures of the houses and stuff.
The plein air is the 7th and the 10th for the youth, and that's after school and on Saturday. And the birdhouse is the garden walk on the 17th. So there's a whole lot going on in St. John in the next couple of weeks. So everybody get out and
you won't
enjoy
be
our
bored.
town. No, enjoy our town. And then we also, another thing that they've got going that's starting in June, which is a ways off yet, but there's still, if anybody wants to take art classes, you can sign up now by going to the Art Guild site. Just put in St. Genevieve Art Guild and it'll take you to our page. There's instructions by Billy O. He is a St. Louis artist and he plein airs all over the world. He's very, very good. Dan Woodward, he's a watercolor realist painter, and who's the other one? Brian Haynes. He just came out with a book, and he does a human figure is what he's most noted for, but he's going to be doing other things in acrylic. So if anybody wants to learn how to paint, go to the Art Guild site.
Did you notice that it's
and
called
sign up.
the School of Art and the
School of the Soldier. Isn't that
That
something?
is remarkable.
Oh, my goodness. Well, actually, in the 30s, there was a School of Art here. During the Depression, they could not afford to go to New York from St. Louis, so they came down here. And I think they had it for like 4 or 5 years. And we have the post office mural is done by one of the artists, and we had some really noted artists here during that time.
I think it's the 80th anniversary.
Yes, it is.
This year, they're gonna.
This year is the
this
80th
summer.
anniversary, that's why they're doing the summer school again. And also, Teresa Drury, most of you probably know who she is, she posed when she was 8 years old, she posed for the painters that were here for the Summer School of Art. So she's going to be a guest this year. And they also have another little 8-year-old girl that's going to be available. So 80 years from now, they can say, this girl posed to be painted. So it's really a lot of things going on here in St. Jim.
So I'm too old to pose, huh?
You can pose if you want. You can, you know what, they really want people down in Cape. They have a live drawing class.
Forget it.
And I think we want to start a drawing class here in St. Jim.
Forget
it. So everybody, thank you for coming, and we always enjoy having people here and all the information that we can pass out and give our citizens things to do and show them how great our town is. I think everybody here really loves our town. We've been here forever. Yeah.
Not forever.
This town was here forever.
Well, I know, but
Never mind, wasn't no people in
I was down in
I'm
Perryville.
an import.
I'm an import too.
I was an import when I was 10, but I feel like or 9. My brother always corrects me. I always thought I moved here when I was 10. He said, you stupid, you didn't come here when you were 10, you were 9.
Well, they really did encourage it. We did have a German doctor in the 1770s, a German.
We didn't even say goodnight, he cut us off.
Did he cut us off?
Yeah, we're gone.
1832 that the Germans started sending.
Yeah, we're off, yeah.
We always
But you
run-
always have to be careful. Because sometimes he says we're off.